Okay, I thought I'd do a short video here showing some little fine-tuning adjustments. Actually, some of them are pretty significant additions to this piece that I started in the live stream last night, but really wanted to finish it off with some of the ideas that came to mind while doing the live stream or while creating this piece right here. But they were just going to take too long to do in a live stream, and I don't know, I had a lot of kind of some decisions to make that I wasn't quite sure about, not necessarily the good, live streaming content there, me sitting around going, But anyways, okay. So what we did here was one of the things that I said that would be kind of cool with this kind of celestial kind of dial here was to add in these elements here in the four corners, and just the date I thought would be kind of interesting, and doing it in Roman numerals. So we have 1,000, so like 2023 here. And I did lose my little snail down there, but we sacrificed him. There's a snail behind this XX right here, but I thought it was just too strong of an element to not do it. Okay, so I also cut off about a 1/2 inch off the length and width here. So I had a little bit, like a 1/4 inch on both sides to add in this little bit of a matting around there with the beige paper, and then the gold. Now the gold, I mean, it would be much better if I had at least a 1/2 of an inch around the perimeter, but we would have to sacrifice too much of the scene. So not necessarily thinking about doing that when I started the scene. I started on full page, but it occurred to me that everything needed to be contained a lot more with this kind of real open composition in here with a lot of different elements. Sometimes you really got to frame it off a little bit better. I guess, if someone slapped this into like an actual frame, around it, that could have achieved that as well. But I do think that that little bit of gold kind of looks pretty good in there. And this little bit of matting around here kind of reiterates the linear work of the paint pens used with the compass right in here. Okay, so going back to the dates right here, I added that little bit of kind of beige matting around there. I thought about doing like gold as well around these, but I thought it would be too heavy looking, especially for the fact that this was such a narrow piece of gold on here. Just adding more of it right in here, it was too much unless we had something to add in the central area or just somewhere else within the area. I thought it'd be too kind of ornate around on the perimeter, with kind of the main focal points in here not being as kind of exciting. So we just went with that little bit of matting on there just to make those numeral little boxes stand out a little bit more. Okay, so I had one circle in my piece right here, and I thought, just going with the circle, it looked good, but we just needed more. We needed more emphasis on, I don't know, this kind of dial type of thing or calendar type of format here. So we have this Egyptian figure down here. So I thought about adding in this pyramid right here. So I went with the central point right up here. And then we went down and we created a relationship between that and the bottom of this circle and the top of this slope right here. So we go right in here. And I made this pyramid a little bit darker so that it wouldn't have quite as much emphasis as the circles. So I used a little bit of a darker pen for that one. Okay. And then I thought, that, we still needed something. So I added these kind of orbit rings around some of the secondary types of, orbiting, moons around the sun right here. So we added another one up here. Then I thought, this one's so big, I can add another one right here. And by adding in, okay, so one of the things I did over here was I like to create these relationships between elements within the scene and the edge of the paper. Okay, so you see how this triangle goes right to the edge right there. this circle, this would have been a little bit too much if I added one over here too. So I added this, but this circle goes right to the edge of that page and just kind of kisses it like that. But then I thought we needed another one inside there as well. And you can see this other circle in here. I thought it'd be kind of cool to bring in a little bit of element of this metallic perimeter. So I added this gold concentric circle in here, but it didn't look quite as kind of integrated. So I added another line of that over the top of it. So it's gold, but it's a little bit of a diffuse gold. You know, you can see a little bit of that gold sticking through a little bit. It's not super shiny, but you can tell, you know, it's a little bit of that goldish tinge right there. Okay, I added this little eyeball down here. There was kind of an open area right in here, and I really wanted to add in that little eyeball right there on that hand because it kind of goes really well with these two other eyes in here, and I just wanted an excuse to put that one in there somewhere. So I couldn't find a place for it during the live stream, but looking at it down here, it's kind of obscured a little bit. It's a linear design as opposed to, you know, most of these other ones are tonal, but kind of having it hidden right down here in the shadows like that, I thought it worked just fine, and it, I don't know, provided another little element in here. I added my Edward Gorey kind of piece in here. Again, just to kind of, I don't know, make this area a little bit denser. Okay, and finally, one of the things I was mentioning in the live stream was these little orbs, glowing orbs in here. Might be kind of cool with some crystals placed in the interior of them, the center of them. Now, I didn't put it on all of them because it would be a little bit too much, but I don't know if you can see that right in there. There, you know, there's that one right there, here. You know, there's a little bit of extra bling in here. You know, I mean, this is supposed to be, you know, it's a vintage type of look or something like that, you know, so really aged looking. But sometimes, you know, with this little gold perimeter like this and having these little reflective types of elements in there, just kind of waken, you know, waken the scene up a little bit more. The surface, I guess, adds a little bit of subtle variety. So if you're just looking at it like that, or if there was a still shot of it, I don't know if you can really tell, but, you know, it adds that little bit of movement into the scene, having those little twinkly crystal, you know, clear elements like that. I thought I might have had gold too somewhere, and I don't know, maybe I didn't buy those ones back then, but, you know, I might put, you know, if I do have some of those, I might put a little gold element on this kind of orbit, you know, or whatever around our focal points. I'm not quite sure, but I thought that would be cool too, potentially. But the crystals I always find are, you know, a pretty safe bet in terms of adding a little bit of sparkle into the scene. And, you know, no matter what color, I don't know, you know, the clear, you know, goes well with anything because it's reflective of the colors that are around it as well. Okay, so anyways, hope you liked the scene, and thanks very much for checking out the video. If you checked out the live video and watched me kind of fumble my way through that, thanks for checking that out as well and joining in on that one.